Now, ABC 3340 Morning News.
Good morning, Alabama. Happy Christmas week. Time is coming up on 6:30 on this Monday morning. Thanks so much for starting your day with us. Javante Ingram watching out for your drive if you're getting up, getting ready to head out the door this morning. For those of you who still have to go to work, a lot of people off this week, which is pretty lucky. Wendell's one of them. Wendell's off for the week. Yes. But first, we want to get a check on the forecast. It's kind of chilly out there this morning.
I thought it was just so cold he didn't want to come into work.
He called in cold, like you say.
He called in cold. It's cold enough, though, that we could see some spots of ice out there, and I don't think it's a lot, but just be aware of that. 27 degrees right here at the Tuscaloosa Sky Cam. This is on top of DCH, of course, and wind chills down around 18, and that's going to be a big factor for us. The cloud cover starts to thin out. We'll mix in some sunshine. Thank goodness the precipitation is over with at this point. Otherwise, it'd be a whole different mess. 21 in Haleyville at the moment, 27 in Birmingham, 35 down towards Alex City, and wind chills in the low teens in a few spots. I'll show you those numbers coming up. But today we only climb into the mid-40s this afternoon with a mix of sun and clouds. Breezy conditions will make it feel like the upper 30s for much of that time. So bundle up and stay warm. We'll have a look at the week ahead coming up. Let's get a check of traffic now with Javante.
Good morning. If you are just waking up, we do have a few trouble spots on the roads to let you know about. So let's get right to it. The first one on Interstate 65 as you're headed northbound at Oxmoor. Seeing heavy delays this morning back past the Lakeshore this morning. So the left lane is blocked right now in the shoulder. Keep that in mind. Leave early in that area. And then also on I-20 headed westbound in the Leeds area. After exit 140, that's exit for the outlet shops over there. So keep that in mind. Speeds are starting to recover. So we were seeing them as low as 20 miles per hour. Now they're getting back up to around 35, 40. So slowly but surely, they're getting that scene clear. Those are our only two trouble spots this morning. We're going to check some of your drive times in 10 minutes.
At 6:31, we are following breaking news this morning. Right now, crews are on the scene of a house fire. You are taking a live look at that scene. This is at 5 Mile Road in Birmingham, which is near Roebuck Drive. We are told crews were dispatched here around 5:45 this morning. As you can see at that house, heavy smoke still showing. You can see fire crews there on the scene trying to fight this blaze. Now, we know this is a one-story house and it is right behind a church. So at this point, not a lot of other details are known about this fire. We're not sure yet if any other structures are threatened. We are working to get more information. Obviously, we have a crew there live on the scene. We're going to keep you posted as we learn more.
Stephen Quinn reporting live in Hoover with breaking news this morning. Lorna Road, or Old Montgomery Highway, is closed at this hour, and the pictures tell the story behind us here of a water main break that happened overnight. Water right now is literally gushing over the side of the road. This is it, to give you a sense of where we are. This is as the overpass over the Cahaba River. We are told by Hoover firefighters who were on scene a moment ago that this is a large water main. So if you don't have water right now in the area, this is why. Hoover police have shut down the roadway and are waiting for crews to arrive to be able to fix this water main. But I can tell you right now what you are starting to see, Eric, if you can point over here to the trees, give you a sense. It's obviously cold out, as Charles had mentioned, but over here on the left side, the water is pouring onto these trees and they are literally becoming frozen. I say all that to say this roadway is probably going to have the same thing happen to it. You always hear officials say how bridges and overpasses always become frozen. They're one of the first things to do so because they don't have the ground underneath them to keep them warm. So this could be an even larger issue. First, you have the water main and then also this overpass, which could be freezing soon, depending on how cold the temperatures remain throughout the morning. But obviously a big problem here in Hoover. Crews are on the way. We'll update you with more information as it becomes available. Live in Hoover, Stephen Quinn, ABC 3340.
Stephen, thank you. Lots of breaking news from overnight to talk about. Let's go over to Georgia, where their sheriff's deputy is at a hospital this morning after being shot. We're told Lawrence County officials got a call to Fairview Park Hospital after 9 o'clock last night. When they got there, they found Akeem Woodward with a gun, and he started shooting. One deputy was hit. Authorities were able to detain him before anyone else was hurt. We are told that the deputy's injuries are not life-threatening. Also breaking this morning, one man is injured after an early morning shooting in Birmingham. First responders got a call to Grasselli Boulevard about 4:30 this morning when we came on the air. We're told that the victim was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No word yet on any possible suspects. We're going to continue following this. We'll keep you posted as we learn more. Today marks the deadline to sign up for affordable health care insurance, also known as Obamacare. Officials extended that deadline to midnight Pacific time after the site saw a very heavy volume last week. President-elect Donald Trump is vowing to repeal Obamacare, leaving some aspects of the plan intact. Now, that includes denying coverage based on pre-existing conditions and a provision allowing parents to keep children on insurance policies longer. Also happening today, Alabama members of the Electoral College will meet to cast their votes for Donald Trump. The president-elect won the state with more than 62% of the vote. Many people have bombarded these electors with letters, phone calls, and social media messages trying to persuade them to break their ranks. All 9 electors say that they will vote for Trump. At 6:35, the inauguration is exactly 1 month away from tomorrow. A spokesperson for Trump's transition team says he will stay at the presidential guest house ahead of the inauguration. But over the weekend, sources were saying he would break the tradition and stay at the new Trump International Hotel in downtown D.C. A spokesperson called that information, quote, not accurate. The woman found dead inside of her Shelby County home will be buried today. Funeral services for Constance Woolweaver are scheduled at Briarwood Presbyterian Church at noon. A visitation will follow. Woolweaver was found inside of her Highland Lakes home last week. Right now, Adam Burris is charged with her murder. He is being held on a $500,000 bond. New this morning, the assistant principal at Etowah Middle School is facing child abuse charges. According to the Etowah County Sheriff's Office website, Nathan Ayers was arrested Friday and bonded out the same day. Now, ABC 30-40 did a little digging this morning. The school's website says Ayers has been working in education for 10 years and has been at Etowah for nearly 2 years. We're working now to learn if he faces any disciplinary action by the school. And we're also working this morning to learn the names of the victims whose bodies had been left in a burning home after they were shot. Birmingham police say that the body of a man and woman were found inside of a house on 17th Street in Inslee early Sunday morning. We're told it is being ruled arson. Right now, police are notifying the next of kin. No word yet this morning on any suspects. The Cordova police officer who was shot during an altercation at his home is expected to make a full recovery. Officials say Officer Shelby Luttrell was supposed to be celebrating his child's 2nd birthday Saturday. Instead, he spent the night at a hospital after being shot twice at his home at the High Forest Apartments. Luttrell's co-worker, TJ Armstrong, serves as the department's chaplain, and he spent time with Luttrell's family.
Very somber attitude last night in the waiting room with all the officers from the department. You know, there's anger, there's grief, there's sadness, there's so many things, and they all come and go within a split second. Officials say they do have a suspect in custody.
In Texas, the mayor of Corpus Christi has ended a ban on the city's drinking water. Now, this comes after test results showed no contamination due to a chemical leak. The ban was implemented last week after a concern about a chemical leak at an asphalt plant. The city is still taking precautions.
There's a possibility that there's still a plume of contaminant in our water system. We haven't confirmed that, and we're still working on that.
The city says it will continue to test samples from Zone 3 to monitor any possible plume of chemicals in the system. Across America, 2 people are dead after a car slammed into the back of a school bus. Last night's crash killed 2 people. Philadelphia police say that the driver of the car was going over 45 miles over the speed limit, when it slammed into the back of that bus. That impact caused the vehicle to go underneath the bus's rear bumper. The bus had just dropped off about 24 children at a church moments before that crash. The driver of the bus was not injured. Right now, this crazy weather is wreaking havoc on U.S. highways. Travelers in Houston among thousands across the country affected by flight cancellations and delays. In Baltimore, a 55-vehicle crash on Interstate 95 left at least 2 people dead and upwards of a dozen hospitalized after a fuel truck flipped over a median and then burst into flames. Forecasters up north are saying more freezing rain is expected for today. Time is coming up on 6:39. We want to get a check of our forecast every 10 minutes here at home. Charles, how's it looking out there this morning?
Well, cloudy gray skies for us to start this morning, and we'll see most of those clouds throughout the day, but we'll see some sunshine mixing in, which is good news, but it's cold, and that's what you need to know. Temperature-wise, it's 27 here in Birmingham so far, low 20s in Haleyville and Coleman at 23. 31 in Addison seems to be one of our warmer spots, and then you get down to Alex City, but you factor in the wind chill, It feels like the teens in Birmingham, Gadsden, and Alabaster all at 19. Coleman and Haleyville in the low teens. We've even got some single-digit wind chills back there in Mississippi, but the breeze will make it feel colder all day long. So a mix of sun and clouds on the way. We'll only get to 40 by lunchtime and then 45 for a high later this afternoon. Again, the wind chills making it feel like the upper 30s. So bundle up, stay warm, and we'll talk about the rest of the week ahead coming up. Let's talk traffic now with Javante.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, so we have some good news and some bad news. Let's start with the good news. That accident on Interstate 65 at Oxmoor has been cleared, so you're good to go there. Speeds completely recovered. But if you're hopping on I-20 in the Leeds area, still seeing some delays as you're headed toward the west, just after exit 140 because of an earlier accident there. And then we're also seeing some slowdowns on Interstate 59 as you're headed southbound, just there at that interchange of 459 where an accident is reported in this area. So if you're waking up in Trussville, you can take 11 to get around those delays this morning. Here is a look at the big picture for the rest of you commuters. Those are our only trouble spots so far. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at JIngramABC3340 for the latest on the roads.
The following segment is sponsored by the Huntsman Cancer Foundation.
With the holidays fast approaching, this is a good time to sit around the dinner table and talk about your family history of cancer. A Huntsman Cancer Institute genetic counselor says your family history can hold the key to your own health. One cancer patient explains how those very conversations are now helping her family.
They thought it was just my gallbladder.
But for Sarah, it was actually a very rare cancer in her GI tract.
They did an endoscopy and found ampullary and duodenal cancer.
Just a few weeks later, when her brother had a checkup, that family history put the doctor on alert.
And sure enough, it came back that he had stage 4 colon cancer.
Sarah started meeting with Samantha Greenberg, a genetic counselor at Huntsman Cancer Institute.
So they started putting together, my brother having colon cancer, wait, your grandma died of some kind of gastrointestinal cancer.
All the pieces started to fall into place, and we became pretty sure that there was Lynch syndrome.
It's an inherited disorder that increases the risk of many different types of cancer. For Sarah's family, that discovery happened right before the holidays.
The holidays are really the opportunity for families to sit around the table and be able to talk about their histories.
And once they discovered the family risk,
when we got together with the people who are here for Thanksgiving, my older brother went and got a colonoscopy.
To prevent cancer before it strikes.
All of this discussion amongst the family led everybody to take care of themselves.
For more information, visit huntsmancancer.org.
At 6:45, going to Grandma's house is going to cost you more this year. The Lundberg survey reports the average price of regular grade gasoline has jumped 6 cents nationally over the past 2 weeks to $2.26 a gallon. Analysts say that hike comes from an agreement made last month to cut back on the output. According to GasBuddy.com, the average low in Birmingham is $2.03. Also out on the road with you this week are extra state troopers. The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency is reminding you to slow down. State troopers tell us they have an increased presence on highways and interstates this week. They're looking for distracted drivers and people not wearing their seatbelts. We're told 26 people lost their lives in car wrecks on state highways during the Christmas travel season last year. Let's get a check of the forecast with meteorologist Charles Daniel. Charles, awfully chilly start to the day. Time to bundle up out there, right?
It sure is. And we're going to be giving away an umbrella. That's not going to help you stay warm, though. Today for Pick City, we're headed down to Childersburg, where it's going to be about 44 degrees. We'll actually see a mix of sun and clouds. The problem is there's a lot more cloud cover around right now than sunshine. So we don't get a chance to warm up very much, and then the breeze makes that 44 feel so much colder. Shelby Dickinson is our winner today. Shelby, we'll send you an umbrella courtesy of the fine folks at Health Mart Pharmacies and, of course, the great people here at 3340 as well. And we'll get that in the mail to you as soon as possible, and I hope it gets there before Christmas. You can put it in your stocking just for fun, but we'll get that into the mail to you today, hopefully. Pick City at abc3340.com. Here's how you enter, folks. All you have to do is send us an email to that address. Include your name and your home address so we know where to mail the umbrella. And of course, a lot of the kids not out of school yet, some are, but get your parents' permission before you send those in. Here's what it looks like right now. Let's go to the SkyCam network. We're looking down Highway 280. We've got generally cloudy skies out there. The temperature here around 27. but it feels like the upper teens, 18 degrees at the moment. We've seen that down as low as about 15 here on the SkyCam network, but it is going to be a rather chilly start for everybody this morning. Notice temperatures across the board in the really low to mid 20s, upper 20s there in Gadsden, low 30s there in Anniston at the moment, but that 21 in Haleyville feels like 11 when you factor in the wind chill. So the wind chill is going to be a big factor today. Feels like 19 in Gadsden and Birmingham, Alabaster as well, even the low 30s in Anniston feels like 22 degrees. So the wind chill is going to be our biggest headache throughout the day. Now the cloud cover is thinning out. Even though it shows clear back here, there's some low clouds not picking up on the infrared satellite, but still going to be dealing with the cloud cover off and on throughout the day. It will thin out as the day goes along, and we'll get a little bit more sunshine in the mix towards the end of the day. High pressure still our dominant feature, and that will keep us fairly quiet the next couple of days, but our next frontal boundary not out there yet. It will set up and move through here Wednesday night into Thursday morning and bring us a small chance of rain. Notice the wind's just pouring in from the north. Now 27 degrees, we could complain about that. Tulsa's around 8, but it's minus 10, the actual temperature there in Chicago, so I won't complain very much. Of course, through the rest of the day, we do get a little more sunshine around, I think mainly north of I-59. That's where we see some of the more sunshine, but also some of the colder temperatures. You guys may not get out of the upper 30s. Then the wind chill still adding to that, making it so much colder. Tonight we begin to clear out by tomorrow morning especially, and then a lot more sunshine around tomorrow with slightly more mild temperatures, if you want to call it that, I guess by December standards. 45 for a high today, a little breezy at times will make it feel like the 30s. It's going to continue to be cold. We're back in the low 30s tomorrow morning, so not as chilly with just a few patchy clouds overnight. Then mid 50s tomorrow, low 60s on Wednesday, a few showers by Thursday, and we stay in the mid to upper 50s as we head into the weekend. And it could be a rather warm Christmas day by, again, Christmas standards, 61 degrees, a little bit above average with a small chance of a shower. Now let's get a check of traffic with Javante.
Good morning, everyone. Hope your day's off to a good start. Busy start out there on the roads. Let's get right to it. A few accidents to let you know about. Still monitoring delays on Interstate 20 as you're headed toward the west in the Leeds area, just past the exit 140. So keep that in mind. And then also on Interstate 59 as you're headed southbound, accident right at 459. I would suggest you take US 11 to get around those delays this morning because it's slow going on I-59. Then another accident reported on Interstate 2059 headed toward the west, right at Arkadelphia, and some icy slick conditions there. So take it easy out there on the roads, leave early, and use caution this morning. Here's a look at the big picture. Those are our only trouble spots. Details also for you on Twitter at J Ingram, ABC 3340. Another check of your traffic coming up.
Time is coming up on 6:50 this morning. The dangerous cold turning deadly. At least 14 are dead after a deep freeze hit the country, and slippery roads creating havoc. Thousands of flights now delayed or canceled. Now, a new Arctic blast this morning. What it could mean for your holiday travel coming up on Good Morning America. And right now, breaking in Hoover, this is a water main break. Stephen Quinn is joining us live after the break with how this could impact your morning drive. Welcome back. Time is now 6:54, and before we go, we want to give you the top 7 stories you need to know before 7 a.m.
At number 1, Hoover police right now have shut down Old Montgomery Highway at Lorna Road. The reason? This water main break right here, which has shut down the roadway and is pouring out water. If you do not have service at your house right now, this is the reason why. Water is literally gushing out onto this bridge. This is literally as the road passes over the Cahaba River. As of right now, we are told that crews from Birmingham Waterworks are on their way, but they have not arrived yet. No time frame yet as to when this will be repaired. We'll keep you updated on air and online.
At number 2, that's not our only issue on the roads. We have several accidents working on major interstates. Let's start with this one on Interstate 59 as you're headed southbound. So if you're waking up in the Trussville area, avoid Interstate 59. We have an accident right there at 459 involving an overturned vehicle. So I would suggest taking US 11 to get around those delays. On I-20, not too far away, headed toward the west through the Leeds area. An accident right after exit 140 causing delays. And then also one reported on Interstate 2059 headed westbound right at Arkadelphia, and some icy conditions reported in this area as well. So leave early and take it easy on the roads.
At At number 3, crews are on the scene of a house fire. You are taking a live look at 5 Mile Road in Birmingham. That's near Roebuck Drive. We are told crews were dispatched to this house about 5:45 this morning. As you can see, a little smoke still showing there at the house. Now, this one-story house is right behind a church. Not a lot of other details are known at this time, but we are working to learn more. We'll keep you posted as details come in. At number 4, one man is injured after an early morning shooting in Birmingham. First responders got a call to Grasselli Boulevard about 4:30 this morning. We're told the victim was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. We're also working this morning to learn the names of victims whose bodies had been left in a burning home after they were shot. Birmingham police say that the body of a man and woman were found in a house on 17th Street in Inslee early Sunday morning. We are told it is being ruled arson. And at number 6, Alabama members of the Electoral College will meet to cast their votes for Donald Trump. The president-elect won the state with more than 62% of the votes.
All right, let's go straight to graphics for the weather here. And I tell you, it's a little chilly. 27 now in Birmingham. Wind chills down in the low teens in many spots. Highs today will only be in the mid-40s. Then a little bit more mild the rest of the week with a small chance of showers on Thursday.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning. We'll see you back here at 7:23 for another traffic and weather update. Have a great day, everybody.